A very good evening to one and all present here. Today in the sixth day of the webinar series, Post-COVID Lockdown Era Interactive Session, I, Ornesha Nag, the HOD of BBA Hospital Management Department, in the behalf of Nopani Institute of Management Studies, welcome all the guests, dignitaries and participants for the session Motivating Employees in the Post-Lockdown Era. With the lockdown scenario, employees across the globe from various organizations across sectors have been shut at home and worked from there. Although statistics of various MNCs says that performance of employee have gone up to a great extent, post-lockdown motivating them back in the office space is going to be a tedious task. Now, to introduce the topic to you all, I would like to invite our academic coordinator and the HOD of BBA department, Professor Sharoda Chatterjee. Professor Chatterjee has over 12 years of experience in academic and 2 years of industry experience. She has also 13 publications in her excellence. Madam, please enlighten us on the topic.
Well, thank you, Anisha. And it's for all of you that today, due to some network problem, I can't open my video. So just let me start the audio. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to get the opportunity by Nopani Institute of Management Studies for delivering today's introduction session. Fine. Today's world is facing huge crisis because of COVID-19. In the midst of this crisis, it is observed that a lot of investment in terms of time and resources are made to learn new concepts and technologies without any focus on understanding how one can deal with the challenging and unique situation due to COVID-19 pandemic. So in regards to, let me just introduce some important features. What are the main challenges that today's HR is facing? The human resource department of more or less each and every organization is facing due to this COVID-19 pandemic. The very first thing that we can indicate 56% to manage employee communication, 53% add employee consensus on workplace policies, and 67% of business continuity plan. So to illustrate this, just two sides I'm just opening up. First of all, as per KPMG report, it is being stated that the Indian tourism and hospitality industry is staring at a potential job loss of around 38 million, which is 70% of the total workforce due to COVID-19. Secondly, we can also cite that as per CII survey of 200 CEOs surveyed, 52% foresee job losses in their sectors. 47% expect job cuts to be less than 15%. But a worrying high, 32% expect a loss of 15 to 30% of jobs. Well, these are the challenges and two important examples we have cited. But after that, so what is the remedy? What we have to do? We have to communicate channels. The communication should be a very strong, a very sound one. We have to communication. We have to increase and make a sound channel must be open, and it will be very active. Secondly, employees are the most significant stakeholders for any progressive organizations. Thirdly, the organization must keep employees informed about the latest decisions and keep them connected and engaged. So in relation with this, all the employees involved in work from home strategy, which is a very acceptable strategy in today's world, it is also regarded as how employees can be motivated, the work from home strategy. It often feels stressed or not having the motivation or support on what they used to get when they were available at the workplace. The present disruption can be seen as a challenge to innovate and think out of box ideas as how to engage, and build positive attitude among the team members when they feel low or stuck because of lacks of guidance. So development of individuals along with enhancing productivity is a big challenge or a big loophole in the present scenario. At the same time, organization cannot measure performance on the present work as they used to earlier. Hence, updated SMART goals that fit and align in today's circumstances will not only make employees satisfied, but also will help in achieving organizational objectives. Hence, to end this introductory part, I would like to quote a quotation. As per Socrates, the secret of change is to focus all of our energy not for fighting the old, but on building the new. That is, the process is a dynamic one. Whatever will be the hurdles, whatever will be the problems, whatever will be the challenges, we will have to face them. And the organizations have to motivate the employees to continue their work by facing these type of hurdles. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for this wonderful introduction. Okay, motivating employees is the current need of our, not only to increase productivity, but also to create a cooperative work culture within the organization. Now to carry forward the session, our students of different departments like BBA, BCA and hospital management are eminent speakers of today's session. To begin the session, I would like to invite Bhavika Buddhadev of BBA second semester to put forward her point of views. Bhavika, please.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I am Bhavika Buddhadev and today I am here to discuss about employee engagement amidst work from home. Before that, I would like to thank my respected principal sir and teachers for giving me an opportunity to share my point of view on this topic. Now I would like to request Kaveri ma'am to please share my PPT. So my presentation is divided into 3 parts. First, I will talk about the definition. Then I will look at the work from home revolution. And finally, the ways of motivating employees to work from home. The purpose of this presentation is organizations are suddenly required to scramble for ways to maintain business continuity in the face of such a life-threatening crisis. However, these are also testing times for everyone on how quickly we adapt, how differently we can think and plan, which will determine how strongly we emerge from the adversity. At first, the question which comes in our mind is, what is employee engagement? Here is a definition given by Kevin Cruz, that is, employee engagement is the emotional commitment the employee has to the organization and its goals. This emotional commitment means engaged employees actually care about their work and their company. Now turning to the next slide, that is work from home revolution. The first point is pandemic situation. Due to the COVID-19 lockdown, business are compelled to shut down. Physical offices and people are homebound. In these vulnerable times, organizations have taken extraordinary measures, that is, from an immediate halt to the adoption of remote working. During this period of extended lockdown, work from home has become a mainstream practice. The next point is break the contamination chain. According to the WHO guidelines, the virus is primarily spread among people during close contact, most often via small droplets produced by coughing and sneezing. So it's very important to follow the guidelines and not to go outside and gather. And if we work from home, we don't need to go outside. And easily we can break the contamination chain by maintaining social distance among the employees. And the next point, which is very important, that is safety of the employees. During this pandemic, When we all are restricted not to go out, it is the duty of the company to think about the safety of the employees. So, companies to maintain the continuity of their businesses and to ensure the safety of their employees have urged them to work from home. Moving to the next slide, that is ways of motivating employees to work from home. The first point is regular health updates and assistance. Being physically away from home for a longer duration tends to lower employees' interest level and lack of workplace engagement activities, which also brings down the motivation levels, leading to stress and loneliness. So companies should take care of the physical as well as the mental health of the employees. The next point, which is providing clear guidance. As work from home in this pandemic is totally a new method, it is easy to hear but tough to do. No one is familiar with it. So companies should provide clear guidance and correct direction so that the employees can cooperate with the organization. Last but not the least, that is family engagement. Companies should build a connection with the families of the employees to assure them of safety and precautionary measures taken to earn their trust and confidence in the organization.
Thank you, Bhavika, for wonderfully presented to us today's topic. There is an abundance of evidence to support motivational benefits, the results from carefully matching people to jobs. Now to carry forward the sessions, I would like to call our next beloved student, Priya Singh of BCA 4th semester to put forward the presentation. Priya, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Priya Singh from BCA 4th semester. My topic is reintroducing the employees to the workplace in post-COVID lockdown. Now I'm going to start my presentation. My first slide is misconceptions have been busted. People assume that countries manage the threats of coronavirus and that we will eventually get to the standard working practice. However, the truth is that the workplace will never be the same post-pandemic. We are calling the world's biggest trial remote working. Companies are rethinking a number of common workplace misconceptions. The is that employees are productive. Employees are less productive working from home. Our research shows that this simply is the case, and this is no fundamental difference in the output of remote and office-based employees. The second misconception is that employees deliver their best work based on a 9 to 5 schedule. As business gives employees more flexibility over their schedules to manage conditions, they are realizing this idea is massively outdated and that productivity profiles are more personal. Some people work better in morning, others at night, and by breaking these times constraints, the business can help make employees more productive. And finally, there is a misconception that employees don't want to handle over their personal data and information to their employer. Over the courses of pandemic, pupils have witnessed the effectiveness of data and technology in managing health and well-being. There will be an expectation that business use data and technology to aid the well-being of their employees the post-pandemic. Now moving the next slide. Measures of safety in workplaces. First, carefully consider the reintroduction strategies. When the time comes for companies to start bringing employees back into the workplaces, businesses will come under scrutiny for how they manage the well-being. for their staff. Business leaders will therefore have to carefully consider their reintroduction strategies. Second one is health and safety measures. The most important aspect of this company is investment into health and safety measures. This will not be limited to taking temperature checks upon entry into the office, investing in advanced cleaning services, flow of pupils to avoid congregations of revising setting plans, limiting time spent in conference rooms, and adjusting sickness policies. Next one is supply chains run in safe manners. Organization needs to consider how they can get supply chains up and running again in a safe manner while determining that what their a safe manner while determining there exist of strategies would be should someone in the workplaces test positive for COVID-19. Now moving the next slide. Employees feel safe returning to work. First, perception of safety. They must realizing that the perception of safety are just as important as the actual level of safety that is being provided to their employees. Second one is communication about health and safety measures. As part of this, organizations should take time to consult their employees and understand their concerns in returning to workplace. Once this is in place, the business should operate a phased approach to returning to work. So other employees get to hear from their peers about these health and safety measures in practices. Third one is prepare for the potential shutdown scenario. Organize prepare for the potential shutdown scenario. If an employee says positive at one of their work, organization need to have a rapid exit plan in case of a positive test for impact location. Now moving the next slide. Reintroduction for members of staff. First, business needs to be particularly sensitive when returning the furloughed member of staff to the workplace. Second one is safety will be managed. On the top of concerns about how their safety will be managed when returning to work, individuals will have been spent times out of their regular working patterns, may feel out of touch on company practice, and in some cases rechange the decision to put them on furlough. Third one is re-onboarded the furloughed staff. The post-pandemic workplaces is likely to look very different to the one they left. The different rules and expectations. Companies will need to re-onboard their furloughed staffs when they do returns to their office. Fourth one is, and last one, treat as a new member. It will be important that the business treat as a new member of staff, providing them time to settle in and working hard to create a new sense of belonging. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Priya, for the wonderful session. In recent time, the main concern of organization is to increase their profit and customer satisfaction. And to achieve it, motivated employees is the key. Now we have Orkomitra Chakraborty of Hospital Management second semester eagerly waiting to put forward her presentation. Orkomitra, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. And a very good afternoon to our respected principal, sir, and our respected teachers, and our fellow friends. I, Orkomitra Chakraborty of BBA in Hospital Management Department, second semester, am going to talk about team building exercises, an approach towards motivation amongst employees in the post-COVID lockdown era. I would request sir to please display my presentation. Shakira's team is experienced and hardworking, but lately its performance has been hit and miss. The team seems to have lost some of its energy and motivation, and morale is beginning to drop. So Shakira decides to get her people back on track by exploring some team building strategies and activities. So let us first know what team building is. Team building is a management technique used for improving the efficiency and performance of the work groups through various activities. Team building is about providing the skills, training and resources that our people need so that they can work in harmony, form a strong and capable team. But to be truly effective, it needs to be a continual process embedded into our team and organization's culture. There is a place for one of team building exercises, but they need to have a clear purpose, such as improving a particular skill, and must be well designed to avoid conflict. The whole sole motive here is to achieve the organization vision and objectives. Forming a great team requires a lot of skills and patience of mind. Usually, some managers specialize in team building skills and are hired by the companies on this parameter. The secret to building a great team is to recognize that the whole must be greater than the sum of its parts. Superstellar teams reach heights of achievement that individual team members could never achieve if working outside the context of the team. This powerful dynamic rarely occurs by accident. Whether by deliberate design or simply the result of countless iterations, the one consistent factor that gels great teams together is the ability to communicate and work well with each other. Moving on to the next slide, this checklist is intended for use by those intending to organize their own activity as well as those hiring external facilitators. Step 1. Identify the development need. Naturally, the first step is to know why you are running the activity in the first place. If there is no clear intention for the activity, it will quickly become an expensive and pointless exercise. Clarify the purpose of the activity by asking 3 simple questions. 1. What problem are we trying to solve? 2. What will the activity solve the problem? 3. What features does this activity need to have to solve this problem? Moving on to the second step, clarify the goals of the activity. Once we have identified the need for the activity, we have to be very clear about the expected goals and aims of the event. Going into a team building activity without explicit goals is like playing a football game without trying to score any points. Based on the identified problem, we have to identify 3 primary objectives for the event. Step 3. Design the activity. This is the fun part. Research activities that you feel will help you achieve the goals stated in step 2. This will take a lot of time, however, and you may struggle to design the activity in such a way that it produces results. Moving on to step 4, we have identifying success measures. Just as our business activities have KPI targets that we need to meet, so too do the team building activities. Based on the goals we have outlined, develop a set of KPIs that will reflect whether or not our activity achieved what if set out to do. We have to make sure these KPIs are measurable, whether that's through team service or another metric that is relevant to the goals. Step 5. Consult your team. This cannot be stressed enough. We should ask the team for feedback about the activity proposed. The internet is littered with examples of team activities gone horribly wrong. In many teams, open communication is difficult and employees can often hide what they really think. The last step is to consolidate your results. It can be tempting to finish the activity, call it a day, and continue like we always have. But this would be a giant mistake. Capitalize on the gains we have made and keeping a meticulous record of what happened during the activity, how the employees interacted with the activity, and what the outcomes were. We should track as many metrics as is necessary to gain a full picture of the results of the activity. Let us know what these team building exercises are. First, I would like to start with team building kits. What happens when you mix an escape room, a movie, and a team building into an office? You get team building kits. An immersive mystery game designed to combine fun and bonding with teamwork productivity. In groups of 3 to 5 people, teammates try to solve a murder, escape from Mars, or some other incredible problem. Using clues, documents, items, and puzzles, teams need to share information, develop theories, and work together to solve the mystery. Designed by professional mystery writers, the game makers, this game puts you in a story while staying at office. It facilitates co-worker bondings and engagement while targeting teamwork dynamics like communication, trust, and coordinate. Some of these games are Egg Drop, Dog, Rice, Chicken, and Talking in Circles. Moving to the next team building exercise, that is Escape Room. Nothing tells you more about your team or brings your team together quite like an escape room. With a mix of challenging but fun obstacles, an immersive environment, and the adrenaline rush to beat the clock, your team will come out stronger than ever, whether you escape or not. Your team will need to work together and communicate efficiently to find clues, solve puzzles, and ultimately complete a mission in under an hour. You can choose to find lost gold, repair a spaceship on Mars, break out of prison, and more. Most games hold up to 8 people, and many companies have multiple games, which means you can bring the whole team department and spread them across adventures. Some of these escape room games are Two Sides of a Coin, Blind Drawing, The Minefield or Watch Your Step, Three Truths and a Lie, and many more. Now let us move to the benefits of team building exercises. With the time we spent with our co-workers, the benefits of investing time and money in team building cannot be overemphasized. The most obvious benefits of doing team building initiatives at work include facilitates collaborative and motivated work culture, as these activities are seen as a move towards bringing individuals together. Helps in agile problem solving and decision making, as many heads or hands contribute in the process. Fosters responsive and meaningful communication, as employees come to know personality, desires, strengths, and weaknesses of their co-workers. Aids use of creativity and out-of-the-box thinking by moving employees away from the usual job setup that recharges and refreshes them. Creates atmosphere to enhance productivity by identifying and eliminating obstacles or by improving existing ways of working. Boosts employee morale, as they feel the company and colleagues are interested in knowing and developing them, a valid reason for employee retention. Simple games or brain teasers can also keep everyone awake during morning meetings. It helps creative juices fall, which in turn makes your meetings more productive. Finally, the learning and insights from team building games can be transferred to the actual work environment, resulting in better work equations and organizational performance. Now moving on to what can the team building challenges be? The term team building is often used as a dodge when organizations are looking for a quick fix to poor communication systems or unclear leadership directives, leading to unproductive teams with no clear of how to be successful. Teamwork is the best work. Teams are then assembled to address specific problems while the underlying causes are not ignored. Dyer highlighted 3 challenges for team builders. First, lack of teamwork skills. One of the challenges facing leaders is to find team-oriented employees. Most organizations rely on educational institutions to have inculcated these skills into students. Dyer believed, however, that students are encouraged to work individually and succeed without having to collaborate. This works against the kinds of behavior needed for teamwork. Another study found that team training improved cognitive, affective, process, and performance outcomes. Virtual workplaces and across organizational boundaries. According to Dyer, organizations, individuals who are not in the same physical space increasingly work together. Members are typically unable to build concrete relationships with other team members. Another study found that face-to-face communication is very important in building an effective team environment. Face-to-face contact was key to developing trust. Formal team building sessions with a facilitator led the members to agree to the relationship and define how the teams would work. Informal contact was also mentioned. Moving to the third one, globalization and virtualization. Teams increasingly include members who have dissimilar languages, cultures, values, and problem-solving approaches. One-to-one meetings has been successful in some organizations. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpamitra. The main objective of concern of most of the organization today is to make the benefits from the people by motivating them to fully utilize their potential. Now would like to call Tanmoy Bishwas of BBA 6th semester to carry on with our session. Tanmoy, please go ahead.
Hello everyone, myself Tanmoy Bishwas, student of BBA 6th semester, and today I'm going to discuss on the topic managing remote work in COVID-19 era. Now I would request ma'am to please share my PPT. Managing remote work during COVID-19. Adapting to the new normal. The new normal has been set. The technology industry, which has thrived in co-located spaces to maximize high productivity, has to realize that when the COVID-19 crisis is over, the world will not go back to where it was before. Home office will be the new norm. Productivity gains and client value would have to be driven right from the comfort of home office. Embracing the new reality. Now is the time to rethink this industry and can evolve to ensure it survives this changing dynamic. Managing remote work during COVID-19. Remote working, the new normal. Adapting to the new normal. The new normal has been set. The technology industry, which has thrived in co-located spaces to maximize high productivity, has to realize that when the COVID-19 crisis is over, the world will not go back to where it was before. Home office will be the new norm. Productivity gains and client value would have to be driven right from the comfort of home offices. Embracing the new reality. Now is the time to rethink how this industry and the businesses can evolve to ensure it survives this changing dynamic. As workforces adjust to working remotely, we should focus on these 4 areas now to enable critical behaviors and mindsets that elevate the experience. Connect and personalize. After you have safely moved your people to remote working, it is essential to help them navigate their new environment while supporting shifts to new behaviors and mindsets. Foster relationships. Schedule and create the connections that previously happened in person. Get close to your team with brief weekly one-on-one check-ins. Identify disconnected team members and make targeted introduction via conference call or virtual meetings. Communicate clearly and often. Create a single source of truth wherein all information is housed, such as a site or a community page. Use links across multiple communications channels to direct people to informational updates from your single site. Relate and empathize. Ask open-ended questions, starting first with your people's well-being. Use pauses and playbacks to increase reflection and confirm their understanding. Listen and collaborate. Adjusting to remote operation necessitates the evaluation and optimization of key processes, policies, and meetings. People need to be seen and heard as they navigate new challenges of working from home. reschedule existing meetings to accommodate new remote working environments and obligations of participants. Set time agendas to allow additional time per topic in addition to an open dialogue. Similarly, responsively manage, like provide meaningful updates and prepare protocols. Support and focus. Remote working removes many of the environmental systems and elements that help structure workdays, placing greater emphasis on setting the right expectations and behaviors with your workforce. Lead by example. Leaders serving as role models will have a greater impact on shifting mindset and behaviors in remote work settings. In uncertain times, leaders should avoid tough conversations from behind the screen, but visibly lead with authenticity and focus on putting their people first. Finally, while considering these measures in place during the remote working phase, it could be an opportunity to identify newer ways to evaluate how effective remote work can be for your organization and record the steps. Once things gets back to normalcy, the data will allow the managers to reflect what worked and what didn't, and most importantly, why. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanmay, for the excellent presentation. If employees are motivated and happy, they will do the work to the best of their ability instead of just doing it because they have to. Now I would like to invite our respected principal sir, Dr. Shubir Ghosh, to present his expertise and views on today's topic. Dr. Ghosh has over 20 years of academic experience and also had a plethora of publications in his excellence. Sir, please enlighten us with your expertise.
Good afternoon to you all. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all the participants, those who have presented these different topics. They are our students only. So their presentation was very good, nice presentation they have delivered, and the participants, those who are from outside, and the students, I would like to congratulate for participating in this event. And also I would like to congratulate the organizers, Sarda Madam, Anisha Madam, Kaveri Madam, Somona Madam, Sumon, Sumon Sir, Mohendro Sir, Joheb, Abhishek, Divakar Sir, Anupam Sir, and our respected Director Madam. So it's a nice organization only, and the topic motivating employees during COVID period. Actually, this it has been discussed on this topic. Different speakers, our students only, they have shared their views. Introductory speech was also very nice. Anchor Anisha Madam has also spoken very well about this topic. This period is really pandemic period. So in this period, always all the employees are in their home only. They are working from their home. So work from home everybody is doing. And also there are some employees, those who have been asked not to join their organizations, so they have been terminated actually. So it's a pandemic, it's a very much painful situation. In this situation, everybody is in stress. So during this period, it is very difficult to manage the employees. Motivating employees is very much difficult job. It is a difficult job for the employer. So strategic decision, strategically that has to be managed. There are different ways, but though it has those points or those strategies have been explained by the speakers very well. But few of them I would also like to highlight, like frequent communication with the employees is very much required at this stage, so that the employees will feel, yes, we are someone of the organization, we are also valued, because they are the stakeholders of this organization. So all stakeholders are given importance, because there are many problems is happening. So at least this mental satisfaction is given to that employees. They will feel something better. Collaboration, teamwork, those are very much important. Always their work should be recognized. They should be appraised. They should be given such importance that they should feel, yes, their work is also meaningful. they are also given importance. They should feel that they are the part of this organization. Then only they will feel some type of relaxation. Counseling is required for their professional development. They may be encouraged to do some courses. If they are in teaching profession, they may be encouraged to take up some courses so that they will be able to involve themselves in doing those activities. Frequent meeting. Always they should be connected with the other employees, with the managers or with the managements. So those are the techniques which I find through which employees may be motivated. Employees can be motivated during this pandemic period. Actually, before the pandemic period, of COVID-19, there were some scopes that every day they were going to the office and then they are meeting to each other. They were getting the scope of sharing their views. But this period is such that there is no scope of that. Even they are not allowed to go outside of the home. So situation is very much difficult. It's different. In this period, the employers has to perform great role to motivate their employees to get to retain the potential employees and to get the effective work. Thank you very much. That student speakers and the organizer, it is very nice program. I have enjoyed a lot. I hope all other participants have also enjoyed a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Sir, for sharing your views with us. Now, as we come to the end of today's session, I would like to call Ms. Romana Niyogi, Assistant Professor of Nopani Institute of Management Studies, to draw the concluding remarks. Professor Niyogi has over 2 years of academic experience and holds specialization of human resource and retail management. Madam, please, over to you.
Thank you, madam, for giving me the privilege to conclude today's session. To begin the conclusion, I would say, in the beginning, our coordinator ma'am has raised a very genuine question on our lockdown learning trends. This lockdown has given us a plethora of opportunities across various universities and other portals to learn various things. We are also trying to learn various skill sets through various certification courses and so on. Then if we as employees of different organizations across different sectors are learning all these skill sets, then why are the unemployment statistics so high? To answer to this, our madam has only presented to us the scopes and the challenges. She has delivered how to keep our focus and what would be the trends or the challenges in the coming days. Thank you so much, ma'am, for helping us understand what trends are we following and how are they to be observed. Moving forward, we had our beloved students enlightening us on today's topic. We had a very insightful session on how this work from home culture requires motivation even. Now there is a common misconception, as pointed out by Priya, that only 9 to 5 job brings out the potentiality of the students. No, students or even the employees. Now that is not the case, as statistics are also showing that in this lockdown or in this period, the potentiality of the organizations or corporate employees have also increased. Now we come to as our topic is motivating employees, our student Orkomitra has wonderfully presented to us an exercise called the team building exercises to improve motivation amongst the employees. She has already discussed so nicely and elaboratedly on the topic, which are the building exercises, how one could identify the needs and how are to be done. Yes, one thing she has correctly pointed out, that it needs to be consistent. A one-day activity cannot improve the motivation. It has to be consistent within the organization to make it more successful. Now in the end, we had Tonma presenting to us a very important message. Although motivation is okay, but we need to keep our communication channels very clear and very continuous. The empathy towards our employees or empathy in the organization is going to be the key in the motivating or in keeping up the motivation. Thank you to all our students. And as a principal sir has also correctly pointed out, few more strategies to add upon the motivation. Yes, absolutely correct, sir. This is a very hard time that we all are going through. Here we have to keep our motivations very high, understand the situations, and keep adapting to new things coming for us. Thank you. As we come to an end, I would like to thank all of us who are attending the sessions, our participants, the administrators, and the organizers of the webinars. Thanks to one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sumana madam, for your wonderful conclusion. Now to all the participants out there, the link for quiz is being provided in the chat box. You will have to fill up and get the e-certificate. Now if you have any queries, you can raise your question or you can message on the chat box also. If you have any queries, you can ask, please.
Yes, if somebody is having any question, they can ask now. Thank you very much. Then I think we can end the meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay. As you know, ending our session, so all participants are requested to leave the meeting.